day, and he went to Atlanta with his mom, where the world of Coke is, and he said, "Dad, do you know what
Coca-Cola?"
Yeah, Coca-Cola, not cocaine. He says, "Do you know what the number one ingredient is in Coca-Cola?" And I said, "No, what is it?" He says, "Water." So why can't I just drink water? And the truth to that is when you have water with salt in it, or when you have water with sugar in it, anything that's not, as she was saying earlier, the things that contribute to antioxidants. If you don't have those things, then basically what happens is an osmotic gradient occurs.
All right, osmotic ingredient. Keep going.
So in other words, when you drink something that has sugar in it,
right?
Well, let's start with salt. When you drink something with salt, anything with salt, or eat something with salt, one thing that we know about salt: wherever salt goes, water follows. So if you see in our people who have heart conditions, people who have high blood pressure conditions, and you can actually see the edema that they have in their legs.
Right.
And some of them in their hands, their rings won't come off because the body is holding all of the water because they have consumed so much salt. If you look at it from the perspective of sugar sets up the same osmotic gradient. Now, it's refreshing when you're drinking that Coca-Cola, that Country Time lemonade. Oh, you like it, but it's only because of what you taste, not because of the water. And because you set such a concentration of sugar up, then what happens is that the body, not only does the body pH plummet, but also you get thirstier.
Yes.
And that's one of the signs that is so contrapositive to especially our diabetic community, because one of the three things that we know about diabetics is that they pee a lot, they drink a lot, and they eat a lot, and it's a vicious cycle. And sodas set it all up. Anything that has sugar in it, abundance of sugar, it sets it all up, and it's low, and you don't feel small things. Like you may not feel a big cut, but you'll feel it. If I chop your hand off, you'll feel it. So that's how diabetes works.
Right.
So if I was to cut your arm, yeah, you'll feel that. But it works on the micro vessels in your eyes, in your kidneys, and your extremities. So that's why we lose feet, we lose eyesight, and we have a whole bunch of people on dialysis.
So, and like I said, from this pandemic, the challenge is that if people had a healthy immune system, they could possibly fight COVID-19 or the coronavirus. However, because they already have pre-existing conditions and underlying issues, that's why it's so violent to the body, because you're taking diabetes and now you're fighting corona. It's overwhelming. I'm assuming, like I said, I'm not the medical professional.
But you're exactly right, because this virus is most rampant against people with comorbidities.
All right, I don't know what that means.
So that means if you're a regular healthy individual,
that's me.
You eat a salad. Hopefully you eat a salad a day, or you drink some type of healthy herbal tea a day. We're not talking about something with sugar. We're talking about healthy herb, just like what we're drinking now.
Yes.
And you drink a lot of water.
Yes.
Okay, and you drink a lot of water a day. I'm not saying go into hydrosis. What I'm saying is you drink enough water where your body is not thirsty for water.
Right.
Okay, so you have a healthy environment. This typically will not
be affected.
Your body will be able to fight against that.
Yes.
But if you already have diabetes, you got high blood pressure, you got something else, now you got other issues. And I mentioned diabetes and high blood pressure because those are the ones that affect Jacksonville, especially the Northwest Quadrant, most.
All right.
Okay, so in order to understand this virus, I want to move from that to the virus, because if you're going to understand how...
Now you had two other things now. You said water, wash your hands, or something like that. Go ahead.
Okay, water was hydrating yourself and creating an environment that the virus won't be able to withstand. Soap, you need soap, and let's skip from soap. Let's go to wipe everything down. If you have just soap and water to wipe everything down, then wipe it down. Mama and them, they wiped everything. They didn't just wash the dishes. They wiped the counters down. They washed the fridge down. They washed the icebox down. Fine.
So but get your little Boosie song and then you just start wiping down everything in the house. Keep going, keep going.
Wipe the counters down. Wipe the counters down.
Yes.
Wipe the doorknobs.
Yes.
Wipe them down. The faucets in your bathroom. Wipe them down because that's where people. Guess what? They don't want to touch it, but they touch it to turn it on. Now they're gonna use the on to turn it off. And you go in there, you might touch it, or you just might want to wash your hands. So with that said, water, the way that I described it earlier, it's effective. But water alone, when it comes to something extra, is not effective.
Okay.
We have to have soap. Have to have soap. If you don't have soap, we hope that you have Clorox wipes or some type of Clorox. You know, my mom and them, we used to put a cap full of Clorox in the dishwater. Yeah, because it is effective against killing viruses. Okay, and then you have the soap, and then we also have the wipe. I said the wipe everything down. But the soap part is what I really want to get to, because in understanding the virus, you got to understand how the virus is actually made. It's usually made with a ribonucleic acid. It usually has a fatty acid chain, and it also has proteins. Now, soap is so vital because the part of the virus that's fat loving, it has a lipid layer, it's real sticky. So that's why I was telling you, yep, I may be perfectly healthy, but hey, the virus can stick on something that's inanimate, a piece of steel, the teapot, the ceramic, it can stick, and it stays there. If people say, well, it shouldn't bother me, it's not inactive. The only thing that inactivates the virus is soap.
Wow.
Because soap dissolves that bilipid layer, and it it renders the virus inactive.
Now, Dr. Kamma, we're getting close to time. We've been rolling for over 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We thank everybody for listening in. We're going to have to do this again. But what I want to do is I want you to give out your contact information, and I want to let you know something. There is a Bible verse, because people are like, you a pastor, all you got to do is just pray. All right. Well, faith without works is dead. The book says in Psalm 107, verse 20, he sent forth his word and healed them. His word doesn't always have to come through a preacher or a pastor. His word can come through Tyrica. His word can come through Dr. Kamma. And if we don't apply the word, it's not useful. So please get by Posh. Please reach out to Dr. Kamma and listen to all these recommendations and do your own due diligence.
Yes.
And stop listening to everybody on social media who hasn't spent 10 minutes reading a full article.
Right.
But Dr. Kamma, give me your contact information. Tell them how to get some of this good food, and we're gonna give these people a blessing.
Okay, you can reach me at RKAMMA, that's rkamma at yahoo.com. If you want to text me or ask me some questions, I'm at 352-327-8850. That's 352-327-8850.
Tell them about this ancestor tea. This is COVID-19, so you don't go see your ancestors soon. This is ancestor delay tea.
That's right.
ADT.
ADT, ancestral delay tea. The next one, please let me get that one. Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. This is Tyrica Nahshon again. We are 1818 North Davis Street, right on the corner of 8th and Davis, across the street from McDonald's. The building will say 8th Street Cafe. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Posh Naturals. You can send an email at tposhnaturals@gmail.com. And you can reach us at 904-683-2099. Don't forget you get your herbal tea, and sea moss is pivotal. I hope I said that right for this season.
Stop by. It's delicious.
Yeah, it's see Moss or see the ancestors. You choose. This is Nahshon Nix. Thank you so much for tuning in.
That's great.
I can pop out these last few seconds.
Girl.
Yes, sir.
That was 30 minutes, by the way.
Okay.
You done.
But I have to.
But I did.
You done it.
Yes.
I did.
You done it.
But I would like to do this again.
Okay.
And then do this again, and because it does more than one thing at a time.
Right.
Like I said, he didn't contradict anything that you said.
Right.
You didn't contradict anything that he said.
But see, that's the whole thing. If she says something, I'm not going to come in there and contradict that. That
That's not
defeats
what
the
it's
whole.
about.
That is exactly. It
Yeah.
defeats the whole purpose.
And we all black.
That's right.
And then people think.
And by me being in one field and I'm in one field, you see the commonology? It's common. We're still saying
We're going the same way.
We got the same vision.
And then folks who know me are pastors, this is what pastors are supposed to do. This is what they're supposed to do. But they're trying to heal people from the pulpit. I'm not saying people haven't been healed. I'm not saying that.
You gotta go with that.
But I'm just saying that there's a difference.
I say it. You won't say it? I'm a pastor too. I say it.
But there's a healing in eating right.
Yeah.
But that's what he said, man. He gave you every herb of the field. His original intent wasn't for you to be eating the animals. His original intent was for you to eat the herbs.
I'm still recording. I thought this was cut off.
You still recording?
It's still recording. Yeah, we still recording. I thought I cut it off.
Oh, you still
Or the camera just cut itself back on. But the goal is what we call interdisciplinary support systems, meaning that you have to be able to tie into somebody else's discipline if you're not an expert at that subject matter. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can still maintain your ego, you can still maintain your influence, but at the same time you're reaching out to other subject matter experts to help us all move forward.
And then too, I'm happy that we were able to have the meeting, especially with someone working in the medical field, because a lot of people have the notion when it comes to healing naturally and talking about the herbs and things of that nature, you can, but now you've seen where we're still saying the same message, you know? He just is an expert in the medication, and I'm an expert in the natural, but we're still preaching the same thing. We're still giving you the same message. We're doing it together because what's most important is the benefit of our people.
My man Socrates said it, hey, let food be thy cure. So I can tell you right now, the big pharma, we don't make any cures. We make a lot of medications, no cures. So you can. I see people come back all the time for their refill. I see people leave and they're fine, and then in a few months they're right back. But if you eat what you're supposed to eat, if you feel this temple, y'all don't want to starve me.
Yeah, don't